Welcome back to Trekyards, everyone. He is Commander Cockins.
He's got a vote.
And this is the bridge of the USS Trekyards, at least the captain's side. That's the bridge of his side. And today we're talking about a bridge, in case you couldn't tell. A bridge too far, or not far enough. I don't know. We're going to take a look at it and see. What are we looking at?
Well, last week we did a first look at the new Sabrerunner ship. The new sort of new ship, with a lot of old, but a bit of new. And now we're going to do actual comparisons. Was our interpretations, our guesses, our aha right, or was it not? Were we absolute idiots?
We're going to find out.
I don't think we are. So let's remind ourselves. This, of course, is the Sabrerunner, the Steamrunner-esque ship, but smaller. The bridge. And instantly I said, aha, it's Enterprise C-ish, with a Lodex twist. How do you think now? It's been a little bit of time since we looked at it. Any new thoughts?
I just really like the look of it. I like the color scheme and everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well it compares to other bridges.
Although instantly I saw one thing that I didn't see last time that makes me sympathise, because I have the exact same problem. Just above the Genesis best friend bomb, there's an LCARS which has not been aligned to fit in.
Not angled properly, yeah.
Because they just built flat LCARS, but this era has ones with a slight extra lip thing. I had the same problem in some shots where it's like, because you got to custom build them for that little angle and perfectly, so they just sort of aligned it, and it's not even to the I sympathise, guys. The exact same problem happened in my world.
No one's going to notice that, Samuel. It's fine.
Oops. Right. This, to me, is the Enterprise C, and this is a view of said C. In the episode, we get many shots of bits of the bridge, but there's no establishing shot because I weren't confident with the destruction level they could generate with a big wide, so that everything's kind of focal lengthy with zooms and such. So this is an accurate fact file view, but not necessarily, I couldn't find obviously a real shot.
Yeah, this is very similar in design. I mean, modernized, obviously. They've added new chairs. They've added more chairs, a la Voyager. Overall, yeah, this is pretty much the same kind of feel and design, as you said, minus the upper, LCARS. But
which always a little bit, and it's hard to say. I think we'll see another view if they've changed the 3 arrangement on the bottom, which it looks like they've changed it a bit. The middle frame now has a combined and then a 2. On the C, it's a 2, a 3, a 3. So just, that's the thing. Small iterations can be important. And there is a side view, so we'll see if they've maintained or not the stepping arrangement. But it is, it's a good version. I've always liked that density of LCARS at the back. It's big. I like although when you have it in 3D, the side steps are super tiny. They go up to the second level. They're really, really small, kind of obnoxiously small. But I like having that second level. It's a nice flow. There's very much of a bridge that was designed to look from the front looking back with depth. And then other angles don't quite work as well. In one shot from this episode, there's like a wall with nothing on it. It's like, military ship-ish. You've got space for tech and stuff, and you're going to put nothing there. Interesting choice. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's the one problem I have with it, was kind of the minimalistic look. Like, you could add a console or two at the sides, but I miss the overhead, the upper LCARS, though. Like, I think that adds something, especially if you're standing at that console, because you got to kind of look down the entire time, and not that it's a big deal, but I like the upper displays.
Well, it makes it notably visually different, and it changes the entire lighting profile because it gives a big chunk of light. I hope that these would be seated stations, because if you look at the scaling of the upper bit, the flat console segment is very low down. It's actually really low down, so a chair would be kind of difficult, and you certainly would have to lean very forward to touch things. It's designed to stand only, and not even at a normal height, because they don't do a lot back there, right? It wasn't all necessarily designed for perfection. But there is an amazing shot, which you can blink and miss, which, this is them saying, we're just going to do the Enterprise C. Because the other one you could be forgiven and say, we're going to do a bit of it. They did the whole thing, Stuart. What do you think?
Yeah, even that forward console in front of the view screen. Wow. I didn't think it was this straight on of a copy.
Of a rip.
But like all modernized. The helm consoles and stuff are more streamlined now. Looks like that forward console right in front of the view screen is a little bit more beefier and probably has more things going on there. But yeah, there is a big blank space right beside the view screen, which could be used for something. Hang up an art piece. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I'd actually say that all the consoles look more angular now and less advanced, but that's because the low deck style is not to have those giant smooth edges, which obviously these are just Enterprise B / they're just consoles from other Trek shows, movies where they're just lovely and curved and smooth and silver. Now they're all blocky and coloured, so less advanced looking, but more in the vein of what low decks is. Those chairs look incredibly uncomfortable and blocky and horrible, but they're the low deck style. Now, how much have they changed have they pulled everything back a bit? I mean, in this top view of the sea, it feels as if the helm and ops got further, and they maybe pulled it back a little bit.
It seems like kind of a truncated version of the Enterprise C, like it's been squished in a bit, but it could just be camera perspective or something. I would assume it would be the same, honestly, but again, you're dealing with animated style versus... But you always talk about focal lengths and stuff on cameras, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but...
Now, do you think, having seen this, that the Enterprise C could have benefited with 3 chairs, taking up that space, which now could vibe 3 chairs?
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of had an issue with, like, the captain, first officer, and somebody else. I mean, it worked on the D, in my opinion, but when you see other ships like Stargazer and even the Titan from Picard, it kind of bugs me a little bit. I mean, the captain should have a dedicated seat in the middle, and then again, I don't know. Either way is fine, I guess, but I kind of just prefer a dedicated captain's chair. But I mean, Voyager broke that mold with
every mold.
Well, yeah, which again was kind of nice. I mean, having the first officer there makes a lot of sense. He should have a seat because he's going to be on the bridge a lot of the time as well. So. What are your thoughts on you would think they should do 3 chairs on the Enterprise C?
No, because it's an era thing. I think that's an easy way of just showing it feels different, because it does change the apparent space or lack thereof, because it fills a lot of the middle volume. So I for that reason, I'll say it's good. Well, I'm noticing that, and these are all small things, it's not meant to be the same bridge, but I feel like they've definitely, as they should, they've changed where the turbolift is and how that's structured, and they've kind of shifted all that around a bit to get a bit of a different vibe.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
You don't really need necessarily that wall LCARS it's just a giant LCARS in the middle of nowhere. Is how it feels to me without a person or a console. If that was a full console, that'd be fine. But so this is a simplified version in a sense.
I think this would have benefited, honestly, from having an MSD of the ship, Master Systems Display.
That'd look nice.
In that empty space between the view screen and the turbolift. I think that would have been a good place to have it, especially if you want the status of your ship as a captain. It's right there. I've never really agreed with the MSD right behind the captain, or whoever's talking to
just
the
there for the aliens to look at.
Yeah, I can look at it and go, okay, that's where that is. Zoom and enhance.
Yes.
But yeah, it could have used something like that, in my opinion.
And honestly, if I was doing this, I mean, I love the fact that this is what I've done. I think it's great. I'd probably put a full other side console there, or even gone full Voyager with those 2 cubbyhole consoles, which are sort of random, but they change the flow. And if you had that, you'd actually change the flow quite radically versus C.
But again, we don't know the purpose of the Sabrerunner class. It is smaller than the Steamrunner, so it could just be like a science vessel, so it doesn't really need all the additional consoles. I mean, that cubbyhole thing started with the refit with the weapons area. Had kind of that cubbyhole in the front left, right?
Although, of course, the Oberth is a smaller ship, science vessel, and has all the same consoles as the refit, use the same bridge.
It does, yeah. That's an era thing. I'm gonna go.
There we go! But speaking of era thing, era, not error. This is the view screen. Top is obviously what we saw. Now, I want to compare to what everyone kind of assumes they had on set, because they never do a shot of it, which is the battle bridge view screen using many, 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 many things. And then there's just interesting contrast, the Enterprise A bridge view screen to the right. Because if you were kit bashing, if you were physical on set, you'd use the one you already have. But if you can design a new one, you might tweak it. But if you're trying to reference this other thing, you'd keep it similar. So what do you think they've done?
It's a newer look, but it's the same basic idea. I mean, you can see the similarities there. The thing that kind of bothers me about this over-the-shoulder shot of Mariner is where are the front consoles? You would be able to see them. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Sorry.
Especially front furthest forward console.
Never been a big fan of the Battle Bridge view screen. It always seemed way too small to me.
Yeah, this to me feels like a nice hybrid of the two. Clearly, it's visually inspired from the Battle Bridge, but actually, I get almost closer vibes to the A because it is stretched out. It's more a natural shape for a view screen. The width, the bevels are nice and sleek and far more like the refit, but it's got the detailing of the Battle Bridge. I think it's a really nice hybrid. It's not either, but it's kind of both. I do actually quite like the two red alert bulbs in the bottom.
Yeah, me too.
That's actually kind of nice touch. Although we could have done with having the clock could have been kind of cool.
Yeah, something up there would have been nice as well, but...
Or just little old cars, yeah. I quite like it as a variant. This is a nice hybrid. Kind of all for it, really.
I mean, you say that about the clock, but and that's one of the things I never liked about the having the clock there. It makes sense. It's more of a military vibe, but...
They haven't got watches, so...
Well, it's true.
How you get out of the time?
Do you need to know the time, really? You just ask the computer... And everything that was displays on the view screen probably gets time stamped anyway for playback later. So
can you ask the computer things in TMP and Wrath of Khan? I thought that came in.
Oh, I would
Emperor's
imagine
D.
so. I would imagine so. Come on, you can do it now.
Yeah, but
I can either ask.
We didn't have the eugenics war, Stuart. That really pushed us back a bit.
I can either ask that device or this device right now. So you think the future could do it?
Closing thoughts, Stuart. What do you think?
I love it. It's a new take on an old design, and yet they stayed very faithful to what they were basing it off of, and it fits in with like the live action vibe of redressing sets. So I think it's great. They could have done something completely new. They could have gone way outside the box. They had it's animation, so you can animate anything you like, and not do a redress of an old set. Because the Battle Bridge has been used for multiple things. That this maintains that Star Trek legacy of being redressing things. So I love it. I think it's great.
And I kind of say it's the reverse. It's an old take on a new thing, using a very old design into a brand new ship, which doesn't necessarily fit, but it's a nice reference. But also the fact, the logic of, set reuse. They haven't used this set yet. They didn't build it for this. It was a fresh build of an old redress, which is great. But they're really accumulating the alternate sets. And obviously, once you build one, you've kind of got the pieces for other things, etc. So, building up the stock, at some point they can do all the famous sets. No, it's great. I like the set a lot, and it's underused. I think in this configuration, it was often the other variants, but this particular one, I'm going to like quite a lot for my work in fan films. So yeah, bring it back more. And like I said in our full review, now I can do a Steam Runner. Probably you justify doing a Steam Runner shot with this bridge, and that'd be kind of cool.
Well, there you have it, guys. What are your thoughts on this bridge? Did you like it? If you haven't checked out our other Saber class or Sabrerunner videos, by all means, go and do so. There's a lot to talk about with it. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss when we go live or have great edited content like this.
Or like yesterday's epic look at the ship exterior. It was big. It was bold. Go back and check it out. Or support us if you can on a monthly basis via Patreon. It's the giving a bit a month that adds up. Or YouTube, join the channel. It's the same thing, but on YouTube. Or one-time donation super chats on our lives, on many of our topics, discussions, reviews, just hangouts. Or super thanks on any video. Like go back to 7 years ago and on a video. Haven't done 10 yet. 7 years ago. Or buy a shirt. Links are down below.
That's right. So until next time, he is Commander Cockney.
He's Captain Foley.
See you later.